All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are into game number 3 here for the Chinese qualifiers for Captain's Draft 4.0. This best of 5 series now tied at 1 apiece, Vici versus Newbee. Both games have been very close. A lot of it has come down to the draft, obviously, but a lot of these games have been back and forth. Of course, Newbee were pretty far behind in game 1, and then Mugi came through and started destroying. In game 2, Vici slowly built themselves up an advantage where Ori just became unkillable. And now we have a new draft to look at. We have a new pool to look at. And some very interesting choices so far in these first 2 games. Looking at it now, Vici will pick up the clockwork first overall, but there's still plenty available here for both of these teams in terms of supports and in terms of just generally good heroes. As we jump into game 3, basically, what do you see in this particular draft for both of these teams?
So I guess the biggest thing is that the clockwork is the last available position 4. Since Vici banned out, well, not Vici banning out, but Newbee banning out the Kunkka. I think other notable combos in this draft are the Phoenix Void. I think that looks very strong. There is the CK this game, but I think there's actually some decent heroes against Chaos Knight in this pool. I would say notably the Medusa. So maybe the Chaos Knight is a little bit disincentivized as a result, but Newbee seemed to really like this first overall pick. Puck.
I would think so, especially after how KP played it in game 3 against LFY. He absolutely dominated in that particular matchup. And now they have the Void to go along with it too, so very good first 2 picks here for Newbee.
Yeah, and I mean, just grabbing grabbing a ton of AoE team fight, I don't think is a bad way to approach the game, especially as we were saying at the end of the second game. Vici's overall game plan seems to be very much oriented towards playing together, playing 5-man, pushing, having sustain, and one of the best ways to deal with that kind of a lineup is just to have way more team fight than they can possibly deal with, and then just fighting them whenever they try and make any headway over onto your side of the map. So could be something that ends up happening here. There's not actually that much push in this pool. There's the Lesh again, but there's not really that many great defensive supports to go with him,
right?
In terms of bolstering his survivability, which, like we said in the last game, is really important. Maybe the Wisp. Maybe we'll see the Wisp. I guess that's the one other hero that we haven't really mentioned here.
I thought that because there's also the CK available too, and that's like one of those classic combinations. Not to mention the Tiny as well, which is hit or miss, super hit or miss actually, and it's not going to be that important now. But they will have the Phoenix, so I think this is also kind of an eye pick, like you talked about. Void Phoenix together is very strong. They don't want to give that away to Newbee.
Yeah, and it's not terrible with the support clockwork either necessarily. Maybe Vici will even think about grabbing an axe as their off lane in this situation, and then they can get the axe initiation into Sunray, which is pretty potent. Even just having the Sunray to be able to heal people inside of the Chronosphere might be quite potent. And in terms of push sustain, it's also one of the few options in this pool, other than grabbing the Warlock, which if Newbee wanted to add even more team fight to the lineup, they could go for the Warlock. I think it's one of the not one of the ideal ways to cancel Sunray from Phoenix, but it does at least give you a very long range stun to be able to do that.
Man, they really like this gyrocopter, and you know what? That's fine.
Yeah,
early game team fight, it provides it in spades. Late game potential is there as well, like we saw last game for Paparazzi. Pretty easy to play around. You just come in, you call down, and then your team just follows it up. But maybe Newbee think about something like Razor, is something we've seen that works well inside the Chronosphere, or rather can hit from outside the Chronosphere. There's also Leshrac, which we saw a lot last game. Troll with the Faces Void combination is not a bad idea with Battle Trance, although I haven't seen too much Troll this particular patch. So there's still a lot available here for Newbee. But the question that you were talking about, or rather the issue you were talking about, is there is a distinct lack of 4-position supports here available for Newbee. So that's something to consider. There's still the Bane as a 5-position available, which they do need a 5-position as well. But now you have to wonder, okay, well, what do we pick in the 4-position role? Well, there's the 5 potentially, or it could be the 4.
They
I
might
guess.
just grab 2 range supports here.
Yeah,
I don't
think so.
It's that crazy. Probably Oracle is the sort of there to pull and whatnot, and be there as a save, and then maybe the Bane for a little bit more roaming / initiation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Shadow Fiend from Newbee this game. I don't know how good that hero is this patch. I haven't really seen it played very much, but it looks okay on paper here. Pretty decent at dumping damage into the Chrono. The burst damage is good against the gyrocopter for sure. In terms of just bursting him down, which is always going to be important. The longer he survives in the fights, the more rocket barrages he's getting off, and the more annoying he becomes.
I think he's slightly susceptible to the clockwork. I think Shadowfiend is always like that. I don't know if that's really that big of a deterrent for Newbee.
Yeah, that is something to definitely keep in mind for them. You'd probably have to buy like 4 staff fairly early on. Right. The other thing I think that's going to be really important for whatever core Newbee pick is that they has to buy a BKB kind of early.
I thought they might have picked this.
Are they angling for a Dusa, maybe?
Yeah, pulled it. Or PL, maybe? I don't know if PL is still the hero. Maybe Dusa. Dusa sounds better. I think I like Dusa more in this regard, but I'm just trying to think of what else they could put. Yeah, PL doesn't make sense, I guess, with a Void. You're right. That would be silly. But, I mean, yeah, Dusa seems pretty good in this particular matchup.
Radiant team pick.
Oh, there it is. There it is. We saw Siler play this hero, and he got destroyed on it. I think this will be a bit better for Vici. Status resistance has been a big issue for this hero. I think I've seen a few heroes or a few players on Twitter complaining about it. Tiny's just generally tanky as well. The big issue, obviously, he doesn't have the armor or agility at the beginning of the game, which is a little bit rough. But this hero is still, I think, it's not been tested enough. There's still very few games where it's been played where, I don't know, there's a lot to be learned with Tiny, I think, right now for Dota 2 teams.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they're mostly picking it this game as a, like, we see the Oracle and the Coddle, and we just want to get into the backlines and burst them. Even the Void is pretty susceptible to a Tiny combo. Yeah. Depending on like how he's laned and what the overall situation ends up being. But
10 seconds.
yeah, I'm okay to see the Medusa here, honestly. We'll see what Newbee are thinking. They still have quite a bit of reserve time to talk it out.
What else is there besides the Deuce that you could pick? Assuming this is, what, safe lane? I don't even know. They have a Void and a Puck.
You can like troll mid, kind of. But, I don't know. I looked at the TA, but I think the TA just seems very susceptible this game. I don't think Refraction really does anything for you against the Vici lineup. They just have so much damage over time.
Right.
So, like, it's pretty eh.
Maybe it's a Meepo. That would be really weird. It's not.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, it was a PL. Why did I second guess myself? Why? I mean, I was so you gave me the and I was so positive. I was like, yeah, Base Kit's right. There's absolutely no way this is a PL. That's dumb. It's just. I mean,
it is Coddle PL, right?
Right.
I guess that's the one.
That's what I was thinking about, and then I'm like, well, they have a Void, so what does that do?
You're right, Travis. No, you're right. I'm sorry. It's
That's right, Base Kip.
That was too dismissive of me.
You better apologize. I've been doing all right in the drafts recently. I know it's captain's draft.
You have been. Yeah, you got those predictions
Dude,
down.
If this was captain's mode, I'd get destroyed. It's not even a question.
All right. So what if the PL buys an Ags this game? How does Vici ever push in that situation?
I've been waiting for the PL Eggs. I know one person that really likes that item on this hero. I think it's Sunsfan. He talks about it all the time. I think maybe I'm mistaking him for somebody else, but he really enjoys it. I actually haven't really seen it that much, so I can't really comment on the Eggs for PL. I don't get to see too much PL in general in competitive games, but I'm into it. I'm into whatever as Triple C builds, actually. He's going to have Kaka to back him up, so...
Nope, they swapped it. SC has asked for the Puck.
The KPPL question mark.
I think they want the he just wants the Puck to be, well, I don't think is it Gyrocopter mid? I think it's Ori mid.
It is gonna be probably Tiny mid, yeah.
I think in either case the Puck probably copes quite well because you can just phase shift the toss harassment or the homing missile harassment. I guess the Phantom Lancer can also just doppel it, but it's that's what SC wants.
Yeah,
so
KP.
It looks like that's what SC is gonna get.
Yeah, they're not swapping again. I thought they might have, but KP is staying on this Phantom Lancer. We got a bathroom break. Not a whole lot of time for Newbee after playing that full best of 3 earlier. Now into a best of 5 that's looking to go the distance. Of course, the good news for them is that it's daytime. And for you too as well, my friend. Over here, it is 1 in the morning, 1:40. Not that late yet, but by the time the series ends, it could easily be 5 in the morning. So
yeah, I mean it's getting a little bit dark outside. It's almost 7 o'clock here in in Brisbane.
I have to switch my sleep schedule so fast because Midas Mode is at the end of this week, and that's a European American tournament. So like, this is great. Not that it's really that big of a deal. I've done worse. You know, it's more of the I just got back from Dota Pit. Now I'm casting Chinese Dota, and then I have to go back to an American schedule. So that's the real weird thing is that there's been a lot of casting for me the past few days. Not that I'm complaining. I'm not complaining, everybody. Okay.
You're not complaining?
No, because we got good Dota.
No.
And you know what? That makes me happy. We've had some very good games already today. We had an interesting GG situation at the end of the game through the last series. And we have figured out what happened. It's been posted on Reddit. People have tweeted at me. I understand the circumstances now as to why the GG happened with LFY. Let's just say in short, it was some drama. If you want to read more about it, you can head over to Reddit. Reddit.com/r/Dota2, the website. That's where the drama is, or so I've been told.
That is the
spot. That is the hot spot of drama.
If you're a fiend, that's where you can get your fiend on.
Actually, there's another home for drama that's not... It's an American website that you might know. It's very popular amongst American Dota players. I wonder what it's called. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
I mean, it's North... You know, it's a website for North American Dota.
Dota players, yeah, exactly. Shout out to NA Dota, by the way. A place I used to visit, and I've since not visited in a while, actually.
Do you still have the shirt? Or did you ever?
Oh, I wear that shirt all the time, although it's gotten a little bit too small for me. But yeah, no, I mean, shout outs #1 to Spitwad, who I dearly miss. He's a very good friend of mine. We're a creator, curator of NA Dota for quite some time. Obviously, shout outs to Grant, who is a legend over there. But now we're watching Chinese Dota. No American Dota as we speak. We have Chinese Dota, some of the best teams in the world. Vici and Newbee getting top 3 at Dota Pit. Getting Newbee rather getting, of course, second at T. I think everybody knows that. There's no real reason to talk about it. But this is a very good series. A lot of highly skilled Dota, a lot of highly just really good individual play. And the drafts are the really interesting thing about this series. But anyways, the game's going to start. We're going to get some bounty runes. Vici will be aggressive as they have a gyrocopter at level 1's pretty strong. Fenrir also is going to be a bully. Bane is pretty good in the early game, and Moogie will take 3 auto attacks from him as now Fenrir will back up himself up and away. And how are these lanes shaping up, Basecamp? What are we seeing here?
So it looks like we've got the Void a little bit like sacked this game. Not really going to be getting too much help. I'm actually a bit surprised that they don't put like KP on the Void and Moogie plays the PL. The one nice thing about this situation, and I guess it's the one nice thing about having KP on their team, is that he has played carry in the past. When he was on MVP, he was actually the carry player on that roster. I mean, you can argue that it was QO who was the position 1, but he was the safe laner, so he knows his way around this kind of situation.
Yeah. So if anybody's worried about that type of situation, I don't think you should be. It's early, obviously. Vici are going to have a pretty good lane set up for themselves. The Tiny versus the Puck. Ori is going to, again, we've seen this from the other Chinese players from Sylar, go for the true grab first, whereas in the American Dota scene, Limp, he went for the toss avalanche combo that you usually see on the old Tinies. So different styles. He is up to 6 last hits already, which is actually really good. SCCC kind of having a rough time. Ori having a lot of base damage, obviously. Something to consider. So they'll have a pretty good start.
Yeah, and getting harassed down quite a bit. SC going to be faring out of salve. Some damage being chucked out down bottom. It's actually Young 11 on the Phoenix this game. I guess that's the one thing that we didn't touch on, but this last pick Bane means that they've actually got the Phoenix as their offlaner.
Right.
Which means he's going to get quite a lot more levels. In terms of dealing with the egg, it's not that easy this game.
Right.
Vici have like the cogs to force people away. They got a Nightmare or a Grip. Even just forcing your way in against the call down, I think, is going to be tough.
I also like it because it's a highly skill capped hero, at least in my opinion, Phoenix is, where you drop the egg, where you move, where you use your abilities, and I think it makes things a bit more interesting for Young 11, who's a very highly individually skilled player who will grab a bounty rune in the meantime. So yeah, the last pick, Bane coming out. By the way, I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you do. But Ori, if you can get level 3 grow, you get 40% status resistance. I just wanted to throw that out there because that number seems really high, but it's a thing. Just throwing that out there.
I mean, what statuses is he going to resist this game?
It's true.
The slow on Spirit Lance?
Listen, man, I'm just saying, all right?
The silence from Puck, I suppose. That's definitely something relevant to him this game. The Dream Coil and the Dream Coil doesn't get affected, right? Or does it?
I'm not sure. It's a good question. I don't think it should. It's an ultimate. It's a weird. I'm not exactly sure about the ins and outs of status resistance yet, so don't quote me on it. I just know people are, wow, Moogie's gonna die. The homing missile, Fenrir the brain sap. I did not think it was going to do that much. Level 2 homing missile, paparazzi. Woo! It's a spicy meatball. My God.
Yeah, they're really doing some work up here, and Tiny is absolutely dominating the mid lane.
Yeah.
20-4 to the about to be probably 12-2. Yeah, SC does get that last hit. I think the big reason that they put the puck mid this game is just so that they can make sure that the puck comes online early and can have an impact. It might also be because they've got this core Phoenix, and this is probably the best way that they have to deal with it, is just to have the puck, you know, be able to jump into the back lines and get the lockdown, get the silence, kill the Phoenix before the egg even comes out. Because the core Phoenix should actually be quite good this game in terms of giving them more AoE for the Phantom Lancer. I think that's something that their lineup had some of, but not a crazy amount. But I think the Phoenix makes it just that little bit stronger.
Dude, I've been watching top, and
yep,
homing missile's really good against Void, I've realized. It's pretty good.
It's very annoying. You can, I'm pretty sure you can jump through it, right? And like
that sounds
trigger
right.
it.
That sounds correct, because you can jump through a lot of stuff as the Void with Time Walk. I don't know.
He might be hesitant to try, because if he jumps forward into them and then gets stunned by the homing missile, he's going to look like a real Claude.
Exactly. So. Ooh, Claude. That's a great word. Shoutouts to you for that one. Meanwhile, mid lane, SCCC needs to be very careful. Like you mentioned, this is a way to deal with something like the Phoenix, but he is getting roughed up in the mid lane. 30 last hit, 6 denies for Ori to 17 and 2. Now 18 and 2 for SCCC. Lanham has rotated over. I think they realize that he's not here. They only see Young 11 bottom. In fact, they don't see really anybody. Now they're going to find Young 11, but they can't really make it go. And so SCCC, he might not be getting the most farm in the world, but he really shouldn't die either. He's going to get hit by a cleave from Ori. The tree grab at level 3 now. It does a lot of damage, so he needs to be very careful.
This is a really interesting build from Ori. I've seen the early point in tree grab as kind of the value point, but I don't think I've seen it maxed first yet. So I guess he's going to be playing kind of farm heavy.
Right.
Maybe buy treads, start making his way through the jungle.
Oh,
that kind of setup.
Phase shift, but he will get tossed up. There's no illusory orb. SCCC cog push, but he's still going to be able to jaunt away. Good effort from Vici, but good phase shift to keep SCCC alive. They will instead move to the shrine, go together, get some health back. Remember, the only thing that really changes with tree grab is going to be the attacks that how many attacks it takes before the tree breaks. So it's important to note that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Moogie might be dead.
So it pretty much only makes it better as a farming slash. Oh, yeah, Moogie is dead.
That's actually a sick combo. You nightmare him until the homing missile gets there, and then you just brain sap him. He has no way of surviving. Kak is going to get tossed with Lanham now. The battery salt, the auto attacks, and Ori just swipes him down with this freaking tree. He's level 6, so he has the 1 point in grow. Ori already rotating top of the net worth, and Vici have now a pretty nice advantage here at the early stages of this game.
A little bit of nightmare harassment from Fenrir. I don't even know if this is harassment. It might just be a kill.
I think he's going to kill him. Level 2 brain sap. There it is. And SCCC walks over and watches his friend die, and he's like, sorry, I can't do anything. Literally, Bane's too strong in the early game. So Fenrir will find himself another pick. Right, SCCC is just like, okay, well. He even walked up. He's not even in mid lane. He's giving mid to Moogie now. They're switching lanes. They're hardcore swapping these lanes around because Moogie is having a tough time in the top lane. Not that I think Pucky's going to fare any better. I guess he could phase shift, but it's still going to be kind of rough. So this is a great start for Vici here in game number 3, basically.
Oh yeah, all of their lanes are getting pretty good farm. Even the Phoenix, who's been pressured pretty heavily by this dual lane, has just been hiding in the trees, spamming out the maxed spirits, and just finding farm that way. But this Void doesn't get tossed back. Creep not being too cooperative.
Man, Ori is super scary. He has a haste rune now. He can go pretty much anywhere. SCCC has Dream Coil. He finally gets his boots. He will have to lose your orb away. He probably will jaunt. Fenrir actually almost gets the Nightmare off, but just gets fogged because it is nighttime. On the other side, Young 11 is trying to be aggressive against Kaka. Here comes the Fire Spirits. The Shrine is out now. He does have Supernova, and they have no real way of dealing with it. And now they do with KP here, but he could just take excuse me, Icarus dive away, and in fact, now they've found KP. There's the Supernova. They will probably take this down because SCCC is here, and they will. It'll be 1-for-1 trade. Ori's going to get Dream Coil. He's still hasted up. He has actually 12 wand charges. He'll go for the TP. No way they can cancel this. No Spirit Lance for another 2 seconds, so maybe Young 11 getting a little too ahead of himself. But on the other side, Call Down. Faith is going to get chased down. Brain Sap level 2 is available. He will use the Fortune's End. The homing missile will hit. And this is probably a dead Faith. They don't even need the Brain Sap. They can maybe even think about diving Kaka, who's now in the tree line, but he will drop a ward instead, and Vici will get a couple of kills across the board.
Yeah, early game going really well. All right, Ori, so despite maxing the tree throw, is actually still just going to be going for a Blink Dagger build up here. I guess maybe the idea is that the tree throw just, or the grab just helps him get to his blink that little bit faster. Kaka getting chased down.
Yeah, he might be dead. Nightmare comes out, will take him down a little bit, a couple of auto attacks because they've changed that to Bane, and Fenrir gets a dominating spree. This Bane pick has been outstanding. It's a 5th pick Bane pick after they already had a Phoenix, so they said, okay, we'll throw the Phoenix in the offlane, we'll have the Bane as a support, and he has really helped Paparazzi open up a can of whoop-ass in this top lane. Like, Newbee are getting crushed up here. Not only that, but in the rest of the lanes as well. Newbee have 1 kill across the board. They are down 3k in net worth at 9 minutes into the game, and Paparazzi continues to harass. Forces a doppelganger around at a KP. They have 3 heroes top lane just trying to deal with this, but Vici are not going to be caught because they have a ward nearby. And in the meantime, there's a toss on Amugi who will be able to use his time walk to avoid any further damage. In fact, get a lot of that damage back. Bash up into Ori, who's very strong at this point, so Amugi will be able to survive. Now bottom looking for Young 11, the Dream Quill, but the Icarus dive, good waiting Rift, blows him away. SCCC waited perfectly for that silence to come out, and they will find another kill on Young 11. So those are the 2 kills Newbee are getting. They're on the Phoenix at this point of the early game.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Important that SC finds something here. It doesn't quite manage to steal this entire stack. Nice little rocket flare from Lamb. But this gyrocopter is looking somewhat scary. I don't know if you've looked at Paparazzi's CS, but he actually has 35 denies. He's been getting utter free farm.
That's insane.
Top.
And he only has Phase Mask of Madness. And he actually doesn't even have the mask yet. He's still working on the quarterstaff, so. But he will get very big. Speaking of which, Ori is sitting on 1600 himself. He'll try to put some pressure on this tier 1 tower mid. They have the tree grab. They have the toss to work with as well. But Mugi does have his Chronosphere, and they have a couple of heroes nearby. And Young 11 is going to get caught by it. I think he's dead again. Time Dilation, Illusory Orb. No Icarus side for him. No Supernova for him. And now Ori is forced to leave. So Phoenix gets killed again. All right, that's one way to get farmed and get back in the game for Newbee.
Yeah, I mean, it's a relatively big commitment, but still important that Newbee are finding something here. Kaka's just queuing up an Ags at this point, so he is planning for that on the Keeper of the Light. And like we said earlier, I do think that their lineup is quite difficult to push into. So the early game going badly for Newbee, I don't think is necessarily... It's not great, but I don't think it's that concerning either,
right,
because they do have quite good late game and good ways to kind of get to that point. I'm not going to say that Gyrocopter necessarily falls off as we get into the later stages, but his survivability isn't necessarily going to scale maybe in the way that it needs to for him to live through these fights. And I've also seen Tiny with a lot of net worth still struggle in the later stages, just getting, like, even with like an AC, it's not quite enough to completely fix your armor problems, and then you just end up getting right-click down.
We saw it happen to Salar yesterday, or whenever that game was. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, I mean he had some CK problems, but
very true.
Yeah, there was.
The tree throw animation is the funniest thing.
It's great. It's
wipes
really
it at Mugi, and he's like, "Great, thanks for that." But he is top of the net worth. I think I agree with you completely. I think it's hard to push into Newbee, but I think Vici also really want to snowball here, so they don't have to deal with that issue. And they're taking the tier 1 tower down to the mid lane. They have the Mask of Madness for Paparazzi. I wouldn't be surprised, now that they have the Blink Dagger and the Tiny, to see them get a lot more involved in terms of trying to take fights. But we'll see. I mean, it comes down to, it is nighttime now. They're still trying to push elsewhere. KP is looking for Fenrir, perhaps. The homing missile is going to come out. There's the Dream Coil. They actually miss it on to Fenrir. The call down will come. That is a dead KP. Fenrir was just waiting. Paparazzi is going to get illuminated. He's taking a lot of damage. He does stick up. There's the Nightmare coming out, trying to save him. Icarus dive, Supernova. SCCC is going to have to face shift to Lucio Orboy. Can't make it out in time. Burns down to the Phoenix, and now Kaka, lucky to make it out alive. He is very speedy on this Keeper of the Light, but still, they will lose 2, and perhaps the tower along with it. very good rotation from Young 11 and very good fight from Vici Gaming in general.
Fenrir's Bane is monstrous. That nightmare on the Illuminate is so sick. And now he's found out Fenrir. Oh, now he's found out Faith again. Looks like he might just be dead.
Wait.
Yep.
Wait, what was he doing over
Bane
there?
has a mega kill streak. What is going on?
I did not expect that. I was not expecting a Oracle and Bane to be fighting at the Uber Cliff near a tier 1 tower at 13 minutes into the game. I'm going to be honest with you. I missed that kill completely. My apologies. You were talking about it.
He walked up, he found him, he nightmared him, waited a little bit, got a few hits off, earned brain sap. Very straightforward stuff, but it's just because this Bane is such a high level. I mean, he's already level 9.
Can
he's got
you
max nightmare.
imagine if this was the old Bane and at level 10 you could get Enfeeble Steel's damage?
Oh god.
That would be actually unstoppable. And I mean, at this point, he pretty much is. He's got a mega kill spree. Fenrir, start building into carry. Trust me, it's the way to go. They'll nightmare up some of these illusions. I don't think they were going to find anything. They will find the mid-tier 1 tower. 11, I think, got it. Looks like the last hit was given to somebody like him, I think. Or something.
Actually, no, Kaka denied it.
Denied it? All right, well, whatever.
Yeah, you can look in the chat.
Yeah.
It's pretty confusing.
Oh, there it is. I don't know why they don't put it in the same thing. You know what I mean?
In like the event log.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess they want to make it
They could put
special.
it in both places, right? It's not like they have to take it away from the chat feed. But anyway.
They're going to find Lanham on the other side. Dream Coil, Insta-TP. They cancel it with the Chronosphere. Purifying Flame is actually healing him fairly well, but he's going to get Illusory Orb and then bashed it by Mugi, so... Chrono committed for a Lanham support. Oh, hold that thought. Top lane. That's a Fiend's Grip. KP also getting bursted down by Ori, who only has level 1 Avalanche, by the way, but more than enough damage to secure the kill with the help of Fenrir. And now he's dominating. And the Courier is flying in for some specific reason. I'm not sure why. It's actually spotted by this ward, but there's no way to get to it, so that was fairly interesting.
The Paparazzi Gyrocopter is looking very big. Gonna have an SNY soon. SC ratting a little bit.
He's gonna get Nightmare. Did they Fiend's Grip? No, they just used it. I'm blind. They just used the top. He'll try for an Illusory Orb. Brain Sap. He's gonna Phase Shift, but he will go for the TP. It's going to be close, but Fenrir wasn't there to get a lot of that damage. Instead, Faith might be dead. He does it as a false promise. Might not want to use it. KP is coming in, though. They're really chasing after this. There's the false promise. Supernova coming out. I believe Young 11 is dead because KP just destroyed it with himself and the help of Faith and a few others. So, Young 11, has he died? Is he the only one that's... No, him and then Clockwork has died once. So, all right, Young 11. Okay.
Yeah, he's I mean, he's getting pretty keen on his Phoenix in some of these situations, but I don't think it's concerning Vici too much overall as they continue to take really good control of the map. They've got pretty much complete access to the Dire Jungle at this point, so we'll probably stop. They probably stop farming like this section and just start using the Dire Jungle and continue to build up this lead more and more and more. While Newbee kind of struggling to do anything. They almost have Blink on the puck, and they are actually looking for something here, but...
Lana might be another solo kill. They get off the Waning Rift. Battery Assault was on first. Illuminate will hit up on Ori. Paparazzi will dodge it swiftly. They're still going to take this tier 2 tower. Now it's daytime. They'll blink out with one. Paparazzi is so fast that they can't catch him anyways. Lanham, oh, maybe they can. Fortune's Head will come in. Lanham's still trying to, I think, just hold on here, and he can hook shot and try to get away, but the coil will break, and he'll die because of it, so... That is still just a dead Clockwork. They will take the tier 2 tower. In the meantime... PL is trying to split push. Again, they do have good late game here and good high ground defense for Newbee, but they are getting further and further behind as the minutes pass by here, Baseskip.
Yeah, and they do have like some more playmaking potential now that they've got the Blink Dagger picked up on the puck. So next Dream Coil will probably be a smoke gank. The Void's also got a Chrono with his Mask of Madness, so he's at least contributing something to the damage situation, though he might be about to die to a Fiend's Grip. We'll see what happens.
They have a ward that saw him move up to the high ground. SCCC has definitely been spotted. And I imagine we'll see somebody get jumped on. It is going to be a Chrono counter initiation because Fenrir does throw up the Fiend's Grip. He probably dies for this. That's a huge spree that is taken by the puck. That's actually giant. It's a mega kill spree taken. How much gold did he get out of that? He has 950 now. That is going to help him really get to his Veil. He got 400 from the kill alone, so that's pretty nice. Or almost 500, actually. Okay.
Yeah, a little surprised that Vici don't just try and, like, 5-man down the... I guess maybe they don't even really want to be 5-manning too much. Newbee's 5-on-5 team fight is pretty darn good And as we've seen, they do deal with the egg at least decently for now, given that it's only level 1.
Uh-oh. Speaking of the egg, 11. Phoenix is dead again. Young 11. He's got Icarus Dive. Nope. He doesn't have any mana, nor does he have it. It was off cooldown anyways. He had Supernova, but again, no mana for it, so. Damn, dude. They're actually doing a really good job like finding kills for these heroes off of the Phoenix. Now they have a Diffusal up for KP. He's farmed really well. He's actually looking for Paparazzi. He's going for a TP, so nice play there. I think if Chrono's not up, I think Vici could easily fight 5 versus 5, but it comes down if that ability is up. They don't really want to fight into the Chrono as we saw previously. And in fact, they will smoke as 3. Fiend's Grip is back in 25. Ori has a full Echo Saber that he just bought. Now he's working at a heart. He'll take a tree. Kaka's going to almost run into lane. Instead, they will find SCCC. Avalanche, good phase shift, though. That might be enough. There's going to be the toss. Echo Saber, good Nightmare from Fenrir with the Brain Sap. That will secure the kill. So even when they miss out on the initiation, they will still get the kill. Now there is going to be the Coddle Ags, though. And Newbee, this game is still, it's not over yet. There's still a lot to be done here for Vici to try to finish this one up.
Yeah, their teamfight potential is definitely through the roof at this point, especially during daytime. Having the vision from the Keeper of the Light to go along with the puck and the void jumps, potentially. Even the Phantom Lancer seeing the backlines. If the Phantom Lancer gets on top of the Bane, there's really nothing that Fenrir can do. He's had an amazing early game so far, but he may just start to get hounded by KP in all these fights, and we'll see him start to fall off a little bit.
They're going to recall a couple of heroes. They're going to wrap all the way behind. Newbee are still smoked up. Mugi is not. Not that there's... Oh, there was an observer where they might have scouted out Mugi rotating in. In fact, they know this now. They want him. He's going to get caught. He does have hook shot, but now out of mana completely as the mana lead comes in. They have the Illusion Orb. He's got the raindrop to keep himself alive. Fortune's and illuminate the damage, but he's going to heal up. And they've got the false promise. The Chrono hits onto 3. There's the Rocket Barrage. Now Ori getting caught up. There's the Icarus Dive in. They need a Supernova. They'll drop it down now. A lot of damage being done by Ori. Not nearly enough, though, to get some of these big kills. KP will use his doppelganger. Fenrir's going to get chased down. He's about to fall. One more auto attack. SCCC will get the job done, but KP is in some serious trouble here. Young 11 and Paparazzi. Now they'll chase up to Kaka instead. Looks to be a 2-for-2 trade. KP now getting turned on. SCCC looking for at least one more. Very low, but he will have to get out. He'll have to blink himself away as he was looking for Paparazzi, who has the Mask of Madness running. Doing a lot of damage. The Sunray coming in, just going to be healing at Paparazzi. In the end, despite all of that great team fight potential from Newbee, they will still lose the fight 3-2. And very good stuff. Ori somehow surviving in that Chronosphere. Great Supernova from Phoenix, but very close fight for both of these teams.
Yeah, unfortunately, they just can't do that much in the Chrono, right? Like they kind of have a set amount of damage. It's 1 round of puck nukes plus an illuminate, and then whatever right clicks the void gets off. But his right clicks aren't really doing too much at the stage, even against the Tiny's 0 armor. And interestingly enough, Ori is actually just queuing up a heart as the next item. I am very confused.
I'm into it. Strength. He's already got 1 million status resistance. Dude, it's the meme. It continues. Trust me. Hook shot from Lanham as he gets blinding lighted. Now he's out of mana completely and getting owned by KP. But the damage isn't really that high. Well, maybe now it is. They have SCCC coming in, so... KP, even with no mana, still does plenty of work with the Diffusal Blade. They will take a kill. Faith dies on the other side, of course. So it is a 1-for-1 trade. It is a 7k lead for Vici, but again, Newbee continue to fight back. They still hold on to some of these tier 2 towers, despite there being some plenty of push from Vici. So we're kind of wait for the next big fight, wait for the next big Chronosphere potentially from Newbee to see if they can turn this bad boy around. He's actually almost got Battle Fury too for Mugi, which is really big. It's a big item for them.
SCCC just looking at Kaka taking a nap. But he'll be all right.
He's like, it's nighttime. You're on your own, buddy.
Yeah, it's like up. Can they get some D wards over here? Does Faith realize that there was a ward that... Oh, he knows that there's a ward that scouted him, but check this out.
It's TP scroll. Young 11. That was zonage. That was hype. Kaka almost had the blinding light, which would have killed him if it broke the Dream Coil. Anyways.
Oh. I was just talking about this ward over here. Check it out. Faith is like, how did I die over here? How did this Tiny find me? And then, nope, ward's over on this side.
That's... Oh my god. That's Sentry.
Yep.
That's depressing.
That's a sad one.
That is the sad life. In the meantime, though, Vici will move into the Roche pits. This will go fairly quickly, actually. Paparazzi does a lot of damage. They don't have armor reduction? I don't think so.
This gyro is so big, though.
Yeah, he's huge.
Almost 13k net worth.
Now Ori's going to come in and help finish this thing off. He's got his Reaver.
He's actually just going hard.
I like it. I like it, Ori. I like the mindset that you're in right now. Go for the status resistance.
I have +2 armor.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was wondering where that was coming from, and then I realized, oh, it's a Aquila.
Yeah.
That's suppressing for Ori. Is it, though? I guess he's still unkillable. He's 7-0-2, despite having 0 armor. I think Valve...
There isn't really that much physical damage on the Newbee side. At least not until, like, Moogie picks up another right-click item. And then even Void does, like, it's a decent chunk of it is magical.
Magical, yeah, time lock, yep.
The time lock.
Very true. Speaking of Boogie, he's been scouted. There's that ward there, but I think he knows that he's getting run at. He's actually running down towards the bottom instead of finishing off the camp. He actually did finish off the camp, so... Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he's just running to push bottom. Looks like he's gonna... He already has a TP scroll. Lana will see me as another flare in 4 seconds. Go for the blind hook shot. It's your only chance. Nope, never mind. He's gonna go for it just normally. And finds it easily because he has the cogs. Or rather, the flare to work with. He'll time walk away. They have the Fiend's Grip. Moogie is dead one way or the other. Good attempt at trying to elude capture, but Vici will end up finding and killing him. So 10k advantage now. That'll get Ori closer to his Heart of Trask. In fact, very close. Give him all the last. It's paparazzi. Come on, man. You don't need any more farm.
Yeah, I want to see this. I want to see how much status resistance he has with the... He's also not too far away from 18.
I'm not going to show you guys until he gets the heart, because I really want to see when he gets it myself.
Well, don't show him until he gets level 18, dude.
That's true. All right, we'll keep it. No, I can't.
No, you can't?
I don't think I can.
Too much of a tease?
I think so.
Okay.
He's got 21% status resistance now, which seems correct.
Well, he's going to gain another 10% from a point in grow.
I think it's not including his grow, right? Because he's supposed to have 30. I don't know how this works. Don't ask me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. What is
I
his
think the
total
tooltip is
status?
bugged. Or it just doesn't include the grow
It doesn't
aspect of
include
it.
the talent, I presume.
So 51% then?
That's how much he's getting just from the strength.
Right.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
Does it stack additively?
Good question.
I don't know.
These are the questions I should be asking you, not you should be asking me.
That's true. I should know this, actually.
Not really. This is a newly implemented... First of all, this is like... Status resistance is an enigma, honestly. Who knows what it does? That's not true. Everybody knows what it does. I'm just going to stop talking. Ori's sitting right now. He's level 17. He's going to have level 18 soon. 40% status resistance. Not to mention, he gets a lot of bonus damage from the gold, or rather the grow. He also gets some attack speed reduction, but that's fine. Young 11 will survive a gank, potentially bottom. He Acre dived away from SCC, who did not use the Druid Coil. Decided against it. I don't think he was there in time. Newbee will push together bottom to try to take a tier 2 tower, while Ori will threaten a push into the high ground of the tier 3 as he has his Aegis and Heart. So you need to be very careful if you're Newbee here about how you play this next few minutes.
Yeah, and they are just kind of playing together, relying on the Caudal Vision while they farm up the Radiant jungle. But they are very far behind, and I feel like as soon as we see a big contribution from Young 11 in a team fight, Newbee probably just get wiped out, right? He's had a little bit of a quiet game on the whole, but just all it's going to take is like one good Phoenix ulti for this game to potentially completely end.
Yeah, I don't think his play... I mean, despite him dying, he's done a fairly good job still. Kind of splitting up the map as well. Ori had 20% status resistance when he got the level 18, so that's obviously the tooltip is bugged. It only went up by 1% since he picked up... I don't know if he went strength treads or something, but... he has plenty of status resistance. Don't let this tooltip fool you. There's a lot there, and he's very tanky.
The problem is that the only two things that you could stack status resistance with are Grow and Eon Disc. Those are the only two sources outside of strength.
Right.
So it's like...
Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna DC though. He will be back, I'm sure, momentarily.
All right. Well, I've got... I can... Let's do the math.
You've got some time here, buddy.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, he's reconnected. Just kidding. You don't have any time.
Psych.
Psych. I don't have to do math. Woo! All right, there's a 15k lead for Vici Gaming, which seems like a lot comparatively to what they've had over the past 2 games. And they still have yet to take these tier 3s. KP is starting to get a little big, which is a bit disconcerting. Now they're going to wrap here. They have a Chronosphere ready, but Mookie's not here, actually. But they'll still find Lanham. I mean, he gets blown up instantly. I'm surprised they didn't bring Mugi there. I guess he was pushing top, but what if you find different heroes instead of just Lana, and then you just want to chrono him? I don't know. All right.
Yep.
2K swing right there just from that tower and the kill on the Clockwork alone. Well, they have now bots on SCC.
Newbee's still making making pretty nice plays, doing everything that they can to kind of keep Vici at bay. This is again very reminiscent of what we've been seeing across this whole series and across all the games of Captain's Draft between these two teams. Newbee very much playing keep away, trying to play for the lanes, and Vici just trying to find that perfect opportunity to get the pickoffs that they need and keep their early game momentum going.
Yeah. I mean, really, split pushing is the only way Newbie stay in this game at this point. Paparazzi will get a loser orb, but he's fine. Mana Leak will finally wear off, and they will TP the Coddle out, and the homing missile will continue to chase him, but where's this thing? Here it is. Go, homing missile, go. Got him. That was important. All right, Lonham's going to try to chase after Faith, who is alone. He has False Promise, but mid lane, it looks like they were trying to find KP instead. Shiva's guard up. Young 11 has found him, but where's the follow-up? That is a lot of damage from that Sunray. Young 11 is about to solo kill KP. He will just narrowly survive. Young 11 with Sunray did some serious damage there. If only he had Ori or anybody else. Meanwhile, bottom, Lonham has found Faith, or rather, they've found Lonham. He will hookshot himself to the creeps, but there's the Dream Coil to follow up the Illusory Orb. They're going to try to turn this fight. Ori, Avalanche coming in. Dagon, Lonham is still alive. Fiend's Grip, that'll be up onto Mugi. He's in trouble. He's down. 66 seconds on the sideline. Ori now will turn his attention towards Faith. The Nightmare will come in. There's the Brain Sap. They also Supernova on the backside just in case. It's a double kill for Ori. SCCC will be able to jaunt down to the low ground, or rather to the trees here to the south, and then gets recalled back by the Coddle. In the meantime, Paparazzi will try to chase him down, or rather just push in the mid lane. But it is going to be a 2-for-1 trade that definitely favors Vici in that regard.
Yeah, very nice for Vici to just get over there so quickly. Also, did you see how short the duration was of the Oracle disarm on the Tiny?
I don't even want to know.
It lasted like no time at all. It was very interesting. I don't think it was a hugely impactful thing in that fight, but Ori, very scary, and he's now finally going to be picking up some armor in a second, as he does almost have the AC completed, so he's going to be very hard to deal with. The Gyrocopter is going to be made even tankier. All that flak cannon damage going to be amped up even just that little bit more. KP's item progression still pretty meh. It's going to have a Manta soon, which is nice, but not exactly completely game-changing.
It feels like some old school rat though. They're really bringing him around the map, trying to find split push. Like they were cutting the creep waves a moment ago for SCCC. I like the ideas from Newbie, but it feels really disastrous for them right now.
There's 0 wards on the map. Well, there's 1 now. Both teams are going to get their supports out there and try and get some vision down. Part of that's because Fenrir does have a gem picked up, so they've been able to de-ward Newbie pretty effectively, and that's why they're going to play such safe wards, or wards that are super safe against gem. Just putting them all the way up on the high grounds and in non-obvious places, but they just need any little bit of vision that they can get to keep fueling this split push.
Yeah, meanwhile, they just put down 2 aggressive wards from Vici, realizing there's still no gem up for Newbie. These are some, let's get the enemy jungle warded up, let's get the enemy lane warded up. The enemy mid lane, that is, so. Newbie, they're making their home bottom, essentially. They're trying to keep this pushed out as possible and force Vici back at some point in the near future. By the way, Roche is up, so if you're looking to try to finish this game, if you're Vici Gaming, I think that's probably your next option. We'll see if that's going to be the case.
Yeah. I mean, it's still the same story as the, like, this whole game and kind of the series. Oh, they've jumped in, they found SCCC.
Well, yeah, they sure
He's gone.
He died pretty much instantly, didn't he?
Yeah, no chance to react really at all. There's like the Avatos combo did a ton, and then the follow-up with...
They found Fenrir. This is the gem if they can find it. They're going to have the blinding light. The Yule Scepter will come out. Gem, I think, is picked up by Mugi. He's going to try to time walk away. He'll go for a TP. There's the hook shot, though. Another time walk is up in 2. Maybe he survives this. Nope. It was a good effort, but he will lose the gem that is picked up by Lonham, so it was a good try for a Newbie. But
can you find Faith?
He's looking. He's going to blink up. Faith will juke him as he heads back down to the lane, or he's going to see this. He's going to walk right into him. Avalanche toss combo. And dead. The body hits the floor.
Didn't even hit the ground.
Exactly. He's dead before he even hits it. So Roche is up now. 3 heroes dead. There's absolutely no reason Vici don't take Roche. Unless they want to try to just push high ground and force out a buyback or something with the Void dead for 38. But I think they'll rather be safe than sorry. They will take the Roshan. Gyrocopter is starting to build into that next item, that Satanic, and things are getting a bit dicey. Well, they have been a bit dicey for Newbee. I'm not really sure how you deal with Aegis Cheese other than split pushing, which has been the only thing they can do in the past about 10 or 15 minutes or so.
It's tough. And Tiny's going to be going for another heart as well, or he has decided that he is not unkillable enough just yet.
This is like he's building like he's a centaur, honestly. This is a centaur build we saw the other day. It's almost,
kind of
except for the Echo Saber, pretty much the same.
Vici just do not have the damage, and I see Nightmare down bot.
There's the Fiend's Grip, the Rocket Barrage. Paparazzi will take him down. And I would imagine now Vici are going to really try to pressure and force a buyback here. If they can, that is.
I mean, they could wait for nighttime if they really wanted to, but I don't think they are too concerned. Like you're saying, forcing the buyback would be great. Young 11 just working on a Hex, so both teams kind of Newbee continuing to try and grab, still pushing items and trying to play for this late game where the Void somehow becomes a 6-slotted monster and like kills 2 or 3 people in the chrono, and Vici doing everything that they can to shut down the rat. They're buying Boots of Travel, which is an amazing anti-rat item.
Right.
They're gonna get a Hex on the Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean at this point, it feels like you're kind of running out of time for Newbee. It seems as if they just don't have much left in the tank. Whatever euphemism you want to use, probably applicable here in terms of not having much left in. And they will have Paparazzi get Mana Leaked. He's actually forced in pretty far. He does have a cheese. There's the Chronosphere. He is going to take a fair bit of damage, but they need more. Good Nightmare save. Mugi pops the BKB. Paparazzi still has the cheese to work with. There it is. The Supernova on top. Faith has to use his False Promise on himself. Mugi has to time walk away. Hookshot. Lanham is in deep. Meanwhile, I'm sure Ori is taking your top lane of racks with no issue. In fact, he takes the tier 3 at first. They now have to rotate over. There is no more Chronosphere. Yes, you got the cheese. But in the meantime, they're still dealing with Fenrir, who's in the back lines. Lanham has a Spirit Vessel on himself, for God's sakes. Fenrir will throw up the Nightmare aggressively onto Takaka. There's the people to come out as well. Level 18 for the Bane. They get the Hex onto Faith. They really want the tier 3 in the bottom lane. And yeah, they might find it, but more importantly, they're going to find the racks top lane, it looks like, as Ori is just going to work. He has Aegis. He has Hard. He's going to take the melee racks down. One more auto attack will do the job. He was regenning for a moment there. Now he's going to get Mana Leak. They might be able to get the Aegis. Can they get anything else is the question. The rest of his team is right behind him. Here comes the call down. Paparazzi doesn't want to walk up. He's a little bit low in HP, but the Sunray will heal him back up now, along with the Spirit Vessel if they have it, although Lanham is still a little ways away. Young 11 has the Shivas coming out, the Yules. No Supernova. He's in trouble. Icarus dives off cooldown is rather on cooldown as well. They will get the Hex off under the Void, but he will be able to time walk away in time. KP trying to man fight. They're actually doing some serious work here, but not enough damage is being done to Paparazzi. Finally, with that Triple Seed coming in, they will get the kill. Now 3 dead. They're looking for a 4th. Lana is the one on the run. He does have a Plate Mail along with a Smoke if he can use it, but he's going to get Dream Coiled instead. They'll turn on him. He'll get dropped down. Purifying Flames along with a double kill for Triple C in the Illusory Orb. And they hold. I don't know if you can really count that as a hold because they lost their melee racks, but they do get a couple of kills for Newbee and waste the Aegis as well as the cheese.
Yeah, that fight was, I think, pretty good for Newbee. No buybacks used. The tier 3 bottom is still up. It's low, but it's still up at the very least. And the gem also claimed by Newbee, and that was with the cheese used from Vici Gaming. We are starting to see a little bit of a problem, or at least one of the key differences between having Tree Grab and having the old Aghanim Scepter, which is Tree Grab actually costs mana, and if the Phantom Lancer is just ooming you and kiting you around so that you can't actually get over to the trees, it's very difficult for Ori to deal with. It took him forever to kill the top tower.
Nicely done. Blinding Light will come out. I'm not sure they can keep him alive. Very good False Promise there, along with a force away from Kaka as they saw the Tiny coming in. And now Ori's out of mana, just like you mentioned. And here we go. Hook shot from Lanham. There's the Cogs. Faith is in trouble. No more False Promise. Down for 20 seconds. He will get Glimmer Capes. They'll drop a Sentry. Good Chronosphere. They'll find Young 11 and Fenrir, but they're only doing damage to Fenrir at this point. Young 11 is still in trouble. They're going to have the Glimmer Cape coming out. Fenrir will survive just a moment longer, and he gets Spirit Vessel. sold. They will pop the Supernova as well. Lanham now in the back lines trying to help out his, of course, Phoenix. Ori still out of mana. That Icarus dive range is crazy. Young 11 comes out of nowhere. They get a kill on Faith. They're looking for Kaka. He's going to make it out. No, the Eul Scepter comes in just in time. The Cog pushback is there. It's a double kill for Ori. And the gem gets dropped to the deck and no buyback for either of these supports. And you're fighting without Chronosphere as well. And Ori will finally get a tree to work with and go to town perhaps on one of these buildings. In fact, the bottom lane, that's going to be it.
Yeah. SC trying his best to cut mid, but top's already being pushed in, so backdoor protection disabled. And Ori going to take full advantage.
And that might be the beginning of the end. Not much else they could do. They will have Dream Coil off cooldown in a moment. Aegis is finally gone. Ori's back to full HP and mana, but the Diffusal Blade will start going to work with KP. Tier 3 is going to be taken down. He's trying to take down Young 11, who has an Icarus dive, so even if he gets caught, he can still get away more than likely. He also has a Hex. He's trying to bait something out, it feels like. The Spirit Lance is coming in. He will finally Icarus dive away and just making so much space for his team. They might lose the Courier. They'll shield it as it's coming in. They will lose KP on the back lines. Young 11 actually hexes him and brings him down, so good stuff there. Dream Coil into Paparazzi. He has the Satanic back up to full HP almost immediately. BKB is popped. Backdoor protection will not save you from a Tiny, or maybe it will. It's going to get pretty low at the very least. The call down will go along with it. They will finally get the Srax. That should be Megas, I believe, and it is. And now SCCC will try to jump in, but too much damage coming in from Ori and the rest of the crew. Lana might get dropped. He's a little bit low in HP. Mugi jumping in. He has his Chrono back in 3. Purifying Flames will do the job in Lana, but I don't think they really care. Ori will cancel his TP, so will Fenrir. Toss coming out. Ori might be in some trouble. Fenrir is the real one that's getting chased down. And the Flat Cannon comes in for Paparazzi trying to save his Bane. Bane has Brain Step, not enough mana to use it though. They're looking for Kaka. They will find him. There's the Chrono now under 2. The buyback in from the Bane. They're really trying to finish this game off. The Supernova comes out and Mugi has to back himself away. And now the Chrono is down for nothing. Mugi gets hit up there. It's going to be the Hex now onto KP. He's about to die back. That'll do it. GG is called. Vici Gaming, they've pretty much had the lead from the moment this game started, and they took a little while to get the game done, but boy did they. 38 minutes in, a 23k advantage. Vici Gaming looked fantastic here in game number 3 base, Kip.
Yeah, and the Newbee